Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another edition of MJ Everyday, a dieting based episode for you guys today. Going to be talking to you about glycemic index. What is it? What does it mean? How does it function? What's up with glycemic index? So real simple for you guys, glycemic index is effectively a measure of how foods that we consume, and in particular carbohydrates, affect our blood sugar level. So we consume a carbohydrate, we eat it, it gets digested, our body breaks that carbohydrate down in the digestion process, takes the glucose and sends that glucose into our bloodstream. That then has an impact on our blood glucose level. If something is a very high GI or has a high glycemic index, the digestion process, the creation of the glucose process and sending the glucose into the bloodstream is a very rapid process. So we get a very rapid increase in blood sugar concentration or blood sugar level. Something that is low GI, the process is much slower and we still get a rise in blood sugar level, but it's not to the same degree, or it's not as rapid as it is in a food source that has a high glycemic index or a high level of GI. Now, this is where we start to throw back a little bit to episode 25 of MJ Everyday appearing on screen at the moment, because what then happens really has more to do with our body's reaction to a rise in blood sugar level, which has more to do with insulin than anything else, which we discussed in episode 25 of MJ Everyday. So real quick, as a refresher to you guys, I suggest that you go back and watch episode 25 because I really drew deep down into insulin. But just as a quick refresher, so something that is high GI or has a high glycemic index, the net effect of consuming that food is that we then get a spike in insulin or a rapid secretion in insulin. So high GI consumption of a high GI food leads to an insulin spike. Consumption of a low GI food still leads to insulin secretion, but it's not to the same degree as something that's high GI, and it's definitely not an insulin spike. So then taking that information and then going, okay, well, when do we want to consume high GI carbohydrates or high GI foods? When do we not want to consume high GI carbohydrates or high GI foods? Effectively, the only time that we want to really encourage an insulin spike is post-workout, because that insulin spike is going to drive all the nutrients and everything in our bloodstream into muscle cells, that storage process, and really spark that rest and recovery and muscle repair process. That's pretty much the only time that we want to be purposely spiking our insulin levels. And therefore, really the only time that we want to be purposely consuming high GI carbohydrates, high GI foods, is post-workout to elicit that insulin response. The rest of the time, we want to try and keep our intake of high GI foods to a bare minimum, try and consume medium GI to low GI foods, because we don't want to spike insulin. We want to keep insulin levels as stable as we possibly can throughout the day and not have them spiking and dropping and spiking and dropping, because it creates havoc for our hormones and it makes it very, very difficult to increase body composition, build muscle and burn a little bit of body fat. Guys, that's a wrap for today's episode of MJ Everyday on glycemic index. As always, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn your post notifications on both on your mobile, your cell phone and your desktop PC so you don't miss a beat when it comes to the MassiveJoes YouTube channel. Until tomorrow, I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Stay massive. Thank you for tuning into this video. We hope you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to check out our latest upload and our recommended video, and be sure to subscribe to the MassiveJoes YouTube channel to stay up to date with all of our latest uploads.